Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I am going to talk about the essay Sir Roger at Church by Joseph Addison. This will be my first lecture on 18th century literature. I hope you will enjoy and this will be of help. Whenever we talk about Joseph Addison, another name came into play, and that name is Richard Steele. Joseph Addison and Richard Steele are remembered as the precursors and the champion of the periodical essays. And what is a periodical essay? Periodical essay is a short form of essay, deals with a current trending topic. And these two people were of contrasting characters. Richard Steele founded one periodical essay called The Tatler, and that was the first of the long line periodicals of the 18th century. The Spectator came out for the first time on March 1st, 1711, and it continued till December 1712. Later on, Addison revived it, and since then it issued 3 times a week, and it continued from June to December 1714. The Spectator brought out total 635 essays, and among them 274 essays were written by Joseph Addison and 240 were written by Richard Steele, and rest of the 121 were written by other writers. So we can ask a question, why these people started periodical essays and what is the major aim of the periodical essays? The periodical essays started as moralist, and then their major aim became to break down the two major influences that were prevalent on the people at that time. And what are those two major influences? One is the loose thinking and loose living style that came with the Restoration. And the second one is the Puritan fanatism and bigotry. They felt that their culture was degenerating and there was so much licentiousness throughout the society. This licentiousness was not only limited in the society but also spread in literature as well as drama, like on the stage. They felt that the society and all the things inside the society, they became gross, and they set out to revive the morality in people. So they not only wanted to revive the people and society, they also wanted to refine the literature and fine thought among people. Before we delve into this particular essay, let us discuss about a few features of their essays. Means the essays of Joseph Addison and Richard Steele. One of the major features is that they have not used any harsh language. They did not condemn anyone. They just wrote very good humoredly in a very simple language. And the second feature is that they accepted the common feelings of mankind. And the third feature is that they consistently emphasized the claims of decency and sound sense. All the periodicals, all the other periodicals were focused on politics, controversies and the news kind of topics. But in contrast to them, these particular periodicals were writing about literature, drama, the manners as well as the dressing. So they have brought a very refreshing change, we can see that. And they took a very entertaining look at the attitude, taste and style of the 18th century England. They were mainly catering to the middle class people who actually remained untended throughout. This periodical created a separate domains for the middle class people, separate from the royal court. And here the middle class people can come together and debate about various topics and social issues. The fifth feature of their periodicals was that they wanted to engage the interest of the ordinary people, and these people were real people living in the real life situations. These periodicals discussed about topics which the ordinary people would be genuinely interested in. They talked about how to behave, how to take care of health, how to read literature and how to watch a particular play. The next feature of their periodicals was that they had educational as well as moral aims. They were not preachers. The way they presented the topics, they became enjoyable. The educational topics were also enjoyable. These periodicals focused on their contemporaries to dwell on the right social and domestic conduct. They wanted to raise the taste and aesthetics of the public by discussing philosophy, art and drama. And for instance, Addison has wrote 13 essays on Milton's Paradise Lost. He wanted to revive the taste of the common people about John Milton. The seventh feature of their periodicals was that they used very common people's language. And their language is not very difficult to understand. They are full of good humor and goodwill. In short, we can say that these periodicals can be compared to modern day blogs. The next feature is that these periodicals established one trend, and the trend of character writing. Before that, this trend was there, and this was started by the Greek writer Theophrastus. In English, that was popularized by Joseph Hall, Sir Thomas Overbury and John Earle. And Addison and Steele brought this trend to their writing, and they have achieved perfection in this particular trend. So one of the major characters by Joseph Addison was Sir Roger de Coverley. Sir Roger de Coverley was a member of Spectator Club along with Sir Andrew P. Freeport, Captain Sentry and Will Honeycomb. They are also portrayed as the authors of the papers published in the Tetler as well as the Spectator. Richard Steele introduced this man, Sir Roger de Coverley, and gives a very detailed description of him. He is a baronet in Worcestershire, and his great-grandfather was the inventor of a country dance which was named after him. Sir Roger de Coverley was a very wealthy person, and he had a lot of land, and as well as he was a very good-hearted person. But he is at the same time a very peculiar kind of a person. He is singular in his behavior, but his singularity proceeded from his good sense. Though he was peculiar, he loved people. He remained bachelor as he was crossed in love by a perverse beautiful woman in the next county. It is also said that he had stopped taking care of himself and stopped dressing well. In the essay number 507, it is reported that Sir Roger de Coverley passed away, and in that particular essay we can understand that he was immensely popular and he has almost become like a real life person. He exemplified the values of an old country gentleman. Though he is ridiculous, he is immensely lovable. He is Tory in his political affiliation, but his Tory politics are harmless and silly. So let us look into this particular essay. I am not going to read line by line, but I will try to give a comprehensive understanding. This essay, Sir Roger at Church, has 3 paragraphs in total. So it talks about Sir Roger's idea about going to the church, Sir Roger's behavior in the church with other people as well as about himself. In the first paragraph, Sir Roger talks about the Sunday at the church. He expresses his views on Sunday gatherings in church. According to Christianity, on the 7th day, God took a rest. He had created the mankind on the 6th day, and after that he took a rest on the 7th day. So the practice is that after the hard work of the whole week, Sundays are used to remember God as well as to pray God and to be thankful for his creation. So on Sundays, all the people are expected to leave other works behind and spend one day remembering God and thanking him. So Sir Roger here gives his own viewpoint about this Sunday gathering in the church. He says that whoever has created the idea of taking the 7th day as rest day and Sunday as a holiday, that person has done a great job, because this one particular day preserves mankind. So he feels that if Sunday gatherings was not there, the countrymen would have been deteriorated, because on Sundays people sober up, they clean up and they dress well in order to go to the church, because there they are supposed to meet other people in the parish and they are supposed to be judged. So they sober up. So if the Sunday gatherings were not there, the people had no occasion to dress up and to sober up after the entire weeks of hard work. This particular one day of holiday and Sunday gatherings protect people from disintegrating or from falling into an unhealthy kind of lifestyle. The purpose of Sunday gathering is not only religious but also social, because people of both the sexes present there in their best dresses. So it gives them some sense of purpose. Country fellows, they look forward for this Sunday gathering. So we see that there is a word used, a change. So change is a place where the city people gather to discuss. So what do the people discuss? People discuss interesting matters. They discuss politics after sermons. So let us jump into the second paragraph. In the second paragraph, we see Sir Roger's own beliefs. Sir Roger is a devout Christian and he wants other people to be like him as well. He has done everything to make sure that the people of the parish come to the church regularly. So what are the things he has done? He has beautified the church. So inside the church, he has done some inscription, some words taken directly from the Bible. At Sir Roger's own expense, he has arranged for one pulpit cloth. And pulpit is a place where the priest stands to address the people. He has also put railings around the communion table. We see that Sir Roger was not a native to this place. He came here from another place and settled down here. And he found out that people do not go to church often. So in order to make people to go to church every Sunday and attend the prayers, he has given everyone a hassock. A hassock is a small pillow on which you kneel. And he has also given people one common book of prayer so that the people could look into the prayer book and sing the songs. He has also appointed one traveling master who would travel and teach people the right tune for the songs. So now his congregation takes great pride because they are all good singers now. So he thinks that if a competition was to be arranged among all the nearby churches, and it would be found that the people of this particular church are the best singers, they would win. So Sir Roger, we see that had a competitive mindset also. We see here in this paragraph Sir Roger's behavior in the church. So he is a landlord and he tries to maintain order inside the church. He would not allow anybody to fall asleep during the sermons. But this comes with an irony. He would not allow anyone to fall asleep, but he could. And whenever he is awake, he constantly keeps vigil to check out who is sleeping. So if he by chance dozes off, he would immediately get up to check who else is sleeping around him. So it is in the church many peculiar habits of this man could be seen. Sometimes when they would all be singing, he would carry on with a song for half a minute even after when everyone had stopped. And sometimes if he was in good mood, he would say Amen 2 to 3 times after one prayer. And sometimes when everyone was kneeling, he would suddenly get up to check whoever is not there in the church. There is an example given that on the other day he called out the name of John Matthews. He told John Matthews to keep quiet. And what was this John Matthews doing? He was kicking his feet in order to keep him awake. And Sir Roger yells out his name and tells him to keep quiet. So one peculiar thing is that maybe whatever John Matthews was doing, that was not making a lot of disturbance. But the yelling out of his name by Sir Roger would be creating more disturbance. So Sir Roger was unaware of this particular thing. With this we can see that Sir Roger was quite authoritative, and not only in the church, everywhere he behaved like that. The people in the parish were good enough to understand that whatever Sir Roger was doing, that he did out of the good sense. We see that they were very polite with his ridiculous behavior. So they understood his good sense and considered this peculiarity the highlights too of his good sense and not his faults. So when the mass ended, everybody would wait for Sir Roger to get up and walk out first. So it was the respect all the people showed to Sir Roger. We see one word chancel, and that is the front row near the altar. So we see that Sir Roger walked down the aisle, and sometimes he would smile and sometimes he would find someone is missing, and he would ask about that particular person. He would remember who were not present or who how many people were supposed to attend the church. So he knew everyone in person and he would ask about them. So this asking about them shows on one hand care for those people. At the same time, this asking about those people were the secret chastising towards them, that he noticed that they were absent, that their absence was not gone unnoticed. And another example, we can see that in the Bible teaching class, he would often sit, and whenever a child could answer all the questions right, he would often gift the child a Bible to encourage his curiosity. And along with the Bible, he would often send something for the family, because you knew that these families were not very well off. We see that there is a person, a clerk, who assists and Sir Roger gives an increase of £5 every year. He would encourage the youngsters that according to merit, one of them would be continuing this particular job because this present person is very old. So one more outstanding thing should be mentioned is that there is a perfect understanding between Sir Roger and the priest. Both Sir Roger and the priest, they had the common interest of doing good to the people. One example is given of the next village where the priest and the squire, they are in constant conflict. So we see that in the next village, whenever the priest got a chance, that priest would pass some criticism towards the squire. And to avoid listening to this criticism, the squire would stop attending church altogether. And at the same time, to take revenge, the squire prohibited all his tenants to visit the church. One particular word is there, teeth, and that is the portion of income given to the church. So this particular priest of the next village, he would keep telling to other people that the squire was an evil man and he was a better person. The priest was a better person than the squire. And the things went so bad that the squire had not prayed in private or in public for 6 months continuously. And what did the priest do? The priest threatened to conduct a prayer for him in public if he did not pray. Roger says that this kind of feuds are very common and they have a very damaging effect on the people of the congregation. The ordinary people have great admiration for both rich and as well as for the learned. So common people, so if the squire and the priest, they are in conflicting position, the common people get confused whom to support or whom to choose. So that kind of conflict is not there at the village of Sir Roger, because he shares a very good relation with the priest. We see that Sir Roger says that whenever a man who earns a lot of money, that man does not believe in God, and that rich man's that kind of behavior also can have bad effect on the congregation. So he says that rich man, by not praying God, sets a bad example for the common people. This particular man can make the common people question their faith, because the common people would think that if this man with great fortune without believing God can have this fortune, then why would they need to believe in God? Because by believing in God, they are not getting anything. They do not have the fortune as well as they do not have the fame. The callous behavior of the rich person towards religion can make the common people bewildered and question their own faith. By saying this particular essay comes to an end. So we see there are 3 things established. First, the idea of Sunday gathering and the importance of Sunday gathering at the church. And the second thing is Sir Roger's contribution towards the church as well as his behavior inside the church. And the third thing is the relation between Sir Roger and the priest, and why the relation between why the good relation between the squire and the priest is necessary. So these three particular things are shown in these three paragraphs. I hope you have enjoyed this, and this will help you to understand this particular essay better. So I would suggest that you read it line by line. This is a very short essay. That will help you to answer the short questions better. And for more videos like this, keep an eye on my channel.